Hello and welcome back to the PilotAware YouTube channel. In this video we're going to introduce you to one of the most important pages on PilotAware, that is the configuration page. The configuration page allows you to set up your PilotAware to meet your own specific requirements. It takes a few minutes, but once you've done it you may never have to do it again. To get to the PilotAware configuration page, log into your PilotAware website, type in 192.168.1.1 and choose Configuration. When you do this, you'll see a screen something like this, which shows you your PilotAware software version and when your license expires. If you built a unit with an earlier Raspberry Pi B+, then not all the facilities will be available to you. Therefore, there will not be configuration entries for Mode CS and voice alerts. The first thing you'll see is the Hex ID code. PilotAware will have filled in a temporary one for you, but you will need to put your actual code in here. If you don't know what your code is and you're on the UK register, type onto the CIA website, look for the website G-info and type in your registration number, and this will give you your ICAO code. PilotAware needs to know this code so that when we receive transmissions from your transponder, we ignore them and we don't show you as local traffic. You will have guessed that if you don't have a transponder, then we don't need this code, but it's always useful to put it in so that we can recognize who you are. Here's a tip: a hex code doesn't contain O's, and so therefore if you see an O, it's not an O, it's a 0. Next up is your tail registration. Don't forget to put your tail registration in here so that we can tell who you are. The next line is the group ID. By default it's set to Poor Group, but you can set it to whatever you want. This is very useful if there is a group of you going out on a flyout and you can tell who's in your group. Other aircraft in your group will be prefixed by quotation marks on the navigational software, so you can tell who they are. The next item is aircraft type. Put your aircraft type in here so we can display you correctly on the navigational software. We've included a drop-down menu to help. So from this, choose whether you are powered, microlight, glider, motor glider, paraglider, balloon, jet aircraft or drone. You can also choose to be a base station. You can choose a base station that receives only, or you can choose a base station that both transmits and receives. The next choice is how you want to see traffic displayed on your navigational screen. The options are Reg ID, Flight ID or Alternate. I suggest you use Flight ID. Jumping down 3 rows, the next option is whether you want to see Mode C or Mode S targets. The way these are identified, both visually and through voice alerts, differs from ADS-B, FLARM and P3I targets, which have GPS coordinates. So you may want to get used to PilotAware before you turn this on. The factory default setting is None. The Mode S setting will just pick up Mode S transmissions. Mode CS, which is a beta release, will pick up Mode C and Mode S. And finally, Mode CS with filter, also a beta release, is if you have a Mode C transponder. Once you've made your option for Mode CS selection, the next thing you need to do is choose the separation from Mode CS traffic detection. This is a filter which allows you to choose the vertical separation, either plus or minus 500 feet, plus or minus 1,000 feet, plus or minus 2,000 feet, plus or minus 4,000 feet, or plus or minus 50,000 feet. A setting of plus or minus 50,000 feet should be used for testing purposes only and not used in flight, as this will give too many alerts. The next option is to select the range for Mode CS traffic detection. The range settings are directly proportional to the power received from local aircraft, and so therefore we give you the option of ultra short range, medium range and long range. We find that short range and medium range are the most popular. The next 4 boxes are where you will have inserted your 16-digit license key. These will not need to be changed until you renew your license or you change your Raspberry Pi. The next configuration is where you change the output volume for voice alerts. Select a volume from 0 to 10. The next section sets the USB settings for specific applications. The applications include automatic, GPS output, trig transponder output, funker transponder output, dynon traffic output, FLARM in and GDL90. The data rate is also configurable between 4,800 and 57,600 baud. A recent feature that's been added allows you to select multiple profiles for several aircraft. This is very useful if you use PilotAware in club or higher aircraft. With this feature, every time you install a new profile, that is, a new Hex ID, a new flight ID, PilotAware stores the information. Then, the next time you use that aircraft, you choose it from the list of stored aircraft. Or you can delete it. And that's it for the configuration. Finally, ensure that you save your changes by selecting the Save button. Thanks again for visiting the PilotAware channel, and I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, give us a thumbs up and we look forward to seeing you again.